I have something for you.
What do you mean?
I mean that I have a gift for you. 'Tis a ring. Now, before you get any foolish notions, let me explain. Flemeth once gave me the ring because it allowed her to find me no matter where I went, in case I was ever captured by hunters. I disabled its power as soon as we left the wilds. Recently, however, I thought to change it. Now, I will be able to find whoever wears it instead.
It's a sweet gift. Thank you.
It is not given out of sentimentality. I believe you were too important to risk. If you were captured, this ring would allow the rest of us to find you quickly.
Does it do anything else?
Flemeth used to say that 'twas a link between us, one that I presumed worked both ways. I never tested it, but I doubt she would have lied over such a thing, so it would mean I am linked to you as much as you to I.
So I could find you if need be.
I do not know. As I said, I never tested it. Perhaps.
Glad to see you care.
Now you are mocking me. Do you wish the ring or not? I am tempted to simply keep it.
Thank you for the gift.
You are welcome. Perhaps it will be useful someday.
Okay. And I will equip the ring. I'd like to ask you something personal.
We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
We need to discuss us.
Discuss away.
We've never talked about our nights together, even though it was just one night. Just don't worry.
What is there to speak of? Do you wish me to tell you how wonderful you are? Shall I say you are virile and manly?
Only if you want to.
I prefer action over words. Why don't you prove it to me?
Focus, man, focus. Are you avoiding the question?
You are determined to be tiresome, are you? What is it then that you wish to know so badly?
I want to know how we feel about each other.
How we... That is a rather tiresome topic. Enough. I have no patience for this sort of blather. If you wish to know something specific, I would prefer you ask it. Otherwise, leave me be.
I want to discuss something personal.
We are in camp, so 'tis as good a
I
time
think
as
I need
any.
to be more direct. We need to discuss us.
Discuss away.
Nothing, forget I brought it up. Okay, so I said just opens that for later. Talk to Win.
It's been a long day. Rest would be welcome.
Are you alright?
Yes, of course. I am just a little weary. As you may have noticed, I'm no spring chicken.
You are sprightly for your age, though.
Thank you. You're very kind to say so. But in all honesty, I do not know how many years I have left in me. I have lived for such a long time, but there is always something else to do.
and I have to keep going in order to do it. I think I will be glad when I am done.
I'm sure you'll be kicking around for years yet.
Oh, I don't know. I really don't. Have you encountered many abominations, apart from the ones in the Circle Tower?
Well, I've heard many stories.
You are younger than I, and your nerves yet have some steel in them. Did you feel any fear facing the abominations?
Some, but I knew I could not falter.
The first time I saw an abomination, my blood turned to ice. It was months before the nightmares stopped. It was the knowledge that I could easily become one of them that frightened me the most.
But is this knowledge that drives you to be cautious?
One slip. All it takes is one slip, and everything you are is simply gone. Replaced by madness. And there is no turning back, or at least that's what they say.
You have doubts?
Of late, I have begun to wonder if there is any way an abomination can be cured. Or if a mage could be so possessed and still retain their sanity, their humanity.
If one retains one's humanity, one is not an abomination.
Yes, it is madness and cruelty that define abominations. If those are lacking, if the mage remembers the person they truly are, then they are not an abomination. I never saw that. Thank you for showing me another way of looking at it. So, tell me, how did you become a Grey Warden?
Arl massacred my family, Duncan helped me escape.
Arl Rendon Howe? The Arl of Amaranthine? Why would he do such a thing to you?
Who knows? He'd always been a friend of us Kuzlins.
You are the last of the Kuslans? I had no idea. My lord?
Don't. I'm just a Grey Warden now.
Yes, I suppose so. You can no longer have a title, can you? But that does not mean you must forget utterly where you came from. Take heart, dear friend. You survived, even when you were not expected to. We do not know yet what lies in store for you, or the name you carry. It is not so bad, is it, being a Grey Warden?
I just hope that I can show the strength Duncan saw in me.
Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to. That it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be. I must ask, what does being a Grey Warden mean to you?
It means I've been chosen to do something important.
There's that, of course. But there's more to being a Grey Warden than killing Darkspawn and saving the world from the Blight. Ultimately, being a Grey Warden is about serving others. About serving all people, whether elves or dwarves or men.
You mean to say I serve as a protector?
As a Grey Warden, you are a guardian of men. And you guard them because their continued existence is more important than you are. Thus it is you who serves, not they.
I'll keep that in mind.
A good king, a true king who cares for his land, uses his power to rule firmly but fairly. He serves his people first and foremost. The king who does not do this, who believes that he is entitled to his power, who abuses it and uses it for his own means, is a tyrant.
So, in a way, having power confines you.
If you live apart from others, and your actions affect only you, then you may do as you wish. But if you have power, influence, and strength, your every action will be as a drop of water in a clear, still pond. The drop causes ripples, and ripples spread. Think of how far they will go, how wide they will become, how will they affect the pond. But I've lectured enough for today. I should stop before I wear out my welcome. You're quite taken with each other, aren't you?
Yes, quite.
I've noticed your blossoming relationship, and I wanted to ask you where you thought it was going. She is a cunning woman, a Maleficar. She will use you for her own ends.
There's more to us than that.
I am telling you what I see and what my instincts tell me. And even if the feelings you share are genuine, this affair may not be the best thing for either of you. You are a Grey Warden. You have responsibilities which supersede your personal desires.
I can handle my responsibilities and my relationships.
Love is ultimately selfish. It demands that one be devoted to a single person who may fully occupy one's mind and heart to the exclusion of all else. A Grey Warden cannot afford to be selfish. You may be forced to make a choice between saving your love and saving everyone else. And then what would you do?
See, now that is a very difficult question. Whether or not you would sacrifice the one you love most for many, or do many for the one you love most. I don't want to have to make that choice. Nope, screw it. You're making things sound more dire than they are.
Nothing is certain. Not in these times. You cannot take anything for granted. I want you to be aware of this.
Morgan and I can handle whatever comes our way.
If you insist, I have given my advice. Do with it what you will.
Of course, I didn't think she would be happy with that.
What's on your mind?
Are you feeling better now?
Oh, yes, and thank you for asking. I'm feeling much better today.
I suppose you were just tired then, like you said.
I suppose I must be. What's on your mind?
I was just thinking about being a Grey Warden.
Is something troubling you?
No, I think it was probably the best thing that happened to me.
You are one of the 2 surviving Grey Wardens in Ferelden. You defend all of us, and much rests on your shoulders. It may not mean much to you, but thank you for having the courage to continue to fight.
I'll be ready when the time comes.
And that gives me hope. Have you heard much about the Grey Wardens of old?
I know they were more respected in the old days.
It was said that watching the Wardens ride in on their white griffins was enough to rouse a weary heart and put the dance back in the step of an old man. The Grey Wardens were powerful, feared and respected, but they also inspired the common people. I remember a tale that was told to me many years ago.
Go on.
The Blight had ravaged the land for months, and the armies of the great kings had amassed for one last stand. As the sun burst through the clouds that boiled and churned in the dark sky above, it illuminated a vast, seething horde of Darkspawn, with the Archdemon at its head. And it was then, when courage seemed to fail, and all lost to death and despair, that the Grey Wardens came. They arrived with the beating of wings like mighty war drums and stood before the armies of men.
And what happened then?
The Grey Wardens, grim and fearless, marched forth, ever between the men and the encroaching Darkspawn. They formed a shield of their own bodies and held that line until the Archdemon was dead, and the last Darkspawn lay trampled in the dirt. And then, demanding neither reward nor recognition for their sacrifice, the Grey Wardens departed. When the clouds finally rolled back, and the sun shone full upon the blighted ground, the Great Kings knew that they had lost no men, and none of their blood had been spilled.
This story isn't about a specific battle, is it?
You are observant. This is a tale about no battle the Grey Wardens have fought, and yet about them all. They have always defended us from the Darkspawn, taking losses so we do not have to. People may have forgotten over the centuries, but nothing has changed. This knowledge has been blessing and burden to Grey Wardens past, and now it shall be your blessing and your burden. What's on your mind?
As a Grey Warden, I'll never lead a normal life, will I?
No, you won't.
I already know the answer. I don't know why I asked.
Because you were not looking for the answer, but for someone to tell you that in spite of it, you'll be all right. You wonder sometimes, don't you? If your life would be better if you weren't who you are.
A little.
When I was a young woman in the tower, I came to the realization that the circle would be my life, and I would know no other. Family, love, a simple life. These were things that others took for granted, that I would never have.
And this upset you?
It made me very moody. All I could think of was being trapped in that tower with no way out and no end in sight. I started hating my life and myself, and one night I found myself in the tower's chapel. I was seeking refuge, maybe answers.
Did you find anything?
I must have looked tearful or made some noise, because the revered mother came out and decided to speak to me. And because I had no one else to talk to, I talked to her. I must have said many silly things, but she told me that the Maker puts us all on our paths for a reason, and fighting our intended course is what causes so much anguish.
And that made you feel better?
I thought the old biddy was full of rubbish. I was 15, maybe 16, and I knew everything. So I left, but I always found my way back to that chapel. And as the years passed, I began to see the truth of her words. We were supposed to be polar opposites, mage and priest. But we weren't. There was much about us that was the same.
But priests have to choose to be priests. Mages don't.
Not all priests choose their path. Some children are given to the chantry to raise and become initiates. The revered mother had lived in the chantry all her life, as I had been in the tower for all of mine. She taught me that you can find your family in the people around you, that you can love your work and find fulfillment in duty. And there is joy even in self-sacrifice. If you put others before yourself, then their well-being is yours, and their happiness is your happiness.
It won't be easy to live that way.
You can scream and cry and be angry about life as a Grey Warden, or you can accept it and allow yourself to see the good in it. This is your choice. What's on your mind?
I'd like to ask you something about the circle.
I will answer to the best of my ability.
Why didn't you want to stay at the tower?
The circle is in good hands. Irving knows what to do, and he doesn't need me underfoot. For now, I will support those that battle the Darkspawn. I do feel I left things unfinished in Ostagar. There is so much left to do, and I would be part of it.
I'm glad for your company.
The Grey Wardens, all 2 of you, need all the help you can get. I will see this through to the bitter end, and after that, if I am still left standing, then I will return to the Circle.
I'm sure you'll be able to return, if you so choose.
Perhaps. What's on your mind?
I'd like to ask you something about the Circle.
I will answer to the best of my ability.
How did you become a mage?
People don't become mages. They are born mages. The talent just surfaces later. But you are asking how I ended up at the Circle. I was brought there by the Templars, just like many of the other apprentices. I don't remember very much. I was very young then.
How about your family?
I didn't have a family. I never knew my real parents. My earliest memory was of hiding in a hayloft on a farm, trying to keep warm. I was found, and the farmer's wife was kind enough not to send me away. But they had children of their own, and I was never made to feel welcome. The eldest son was the worst. He was always calling me a stray, and throwing anything he could get his hands on at me. And I don't know how it happened, but one day, he just found his hair on fire. Fortunately, there was a large trough nearby.
Serves him right.
He ran screaming, dripping head and all, to his mother. I was shut up in the barn with a bowl of water and a crust of hard bread. The Templars arrived several mornings later.
Were the Templars mean to you?
One of them ignored me, but the other was kind to me. He gave me sweets and even sat me on his shoulders once when I wanted to look over a high wall that ran along the road. I'll never forget the moment the Templars led me into the entrance hall of the tower. I had never seen anything so grand in my life. I stopped being afraid then. I knew I was home.
It's a great story.
Well, that's about all there is to my tale. That's how I came to the Circle.
What was life like in the tower?
I would be lying if I said it was easy. First, there were rules, and we were constantly watched to make sure we behaved appropriately. Then there was the study of magic. We had to cast the spells just so, control the effects completely. A single word spoken incorrectly, a gesture out of sync, and lack of focus. And we needed to have perfect focus, or we would be in danger.
At least you learned the dangers of magic from the Circle.
Without the Circle and my mentors, I would not have been where I am today. And there was joy in life at the Circle. The joys of fellowship, in knowing that you were not alone in your struggles. In spite of everything, I was happy in the tower, and I loved it.
There's nothing else I want to discuss with you right now. Alright, at this point, I think we can go ahead and return to Ostagar. To where Duncan will be avenged.
Yes.
So I will have to bring Alistair along. Of course, Wynn
Yes.
is also there at Ostagar. And Shale, because Shale. Oh, wait a minute. It leaves me without somebody who can open chests. No, I guess Shale's sitting this one out. No! I thought I hit B as in escape. There you go. I'll try this again. Now I've rethought things. Nope.
Yes.
Bring Win, and I need to bring Leliana because I need her skills as a rogue. That's how I'll do it. I guess I can't do the Return to Ostagar yet. Oh, I think I need to go to Ban Loren's land. That's what it is. That's what initiates the start of that quest. But of course, conflict. Whatever. Take them on where they stand.
Oh, thank the Maker. We need help. They attacked the wagon. Please help us. Follow me. I'll take you to them.
Well, gee, this doesn't seem so tad bit obvious. It's all blocked off.
Right ahead.
There's even a... Look, she even says it. I know she's talking about this leg hold trap, but still, a trap right ahead. Damn it! Right before I even get to the trigger. So she even smiles and nods. And there's Zevran. Yep.
The Grey Warden dies here.
I guess this will be a murder of crows.
Couldn't we all just get along?
I know, that was really bad, I'm sorry. You had to have known this was not going to end well for you. I'm a Grey Warden. A supposed Kingslave. Oh, you know it's coming. Get up, get up.
And so I shall.
No, you don't. Don't run. Oh, whatever. I'll get this assassin then. It just so happens to look a lot like Leliana. Oh no! Alright, the other one. They're taken care of here. It's all of them. You have an assassin who's wounded and unconscious but alive. You can tie him up and talk to him if you wished. Wake him up and talk to him.
Oh, what? I rather thought I would wake up dead, or not wake up at all, as the case may be. But I see you haven't killed me yet.
Yet being the opportune word. I have some questions.
Ah, so I am to be interrogated. Let me save you some time. My name is Zevran. Zev to my friends. I am a member of the Antivan Crows, brought here for the sole purpose of slaying any surviving Grey Wardens, which I have failed at, sadly.
What are the Antivan Crows?
I can tell you that. They are an order of assassins out of Antiva. Very powerful and renowned for always getting the job done, so to speak. Someone went to great expense to hire this man.
Quite right. I'm surprised you haven't heard much of the Crows out here. Back where I come from, we're rather infamous.
Who hired you to kill us?
A rather taciturn fellow in the capital. Logain, I think his name was. Yes, that's it.
Does that mean you're loyal to Logain? Of course the answer's no.
I have no idea what his issues are with you. The usual, I imagine. You threaten his power, yes? Beyond that, no, I am not loyal to him. I was contracted to perform a service.
And now that you failed the service?
Oh, well, that's between Logain and the Crows, and between the Crows and myself.
In between you and me.
Isn't that what we're establishing now?
When were you to see him next?
I wasn't. If I had succeeded, I would have returned home and the Crows would have informed your Logain of the results, if he didn't already know. If I had failed, I would be dead, or I should be, at least as far as the Crows are concerned. No need to seal again then.
If you had failed?
What can I say, huh? I am an eternal optimist. Although the chances of succeeding at this point seem a bit slim, don't they? No, I don't suppose you'd find that funny, would you?
Just a little bit. How much were you paid?
I wasn't paid anything. The crows, however, were paid quite handsomely, or so I understand. Which does make me about as poor as a chantry mouse, come to think of it. Being an Antivan crow isn't for the ambitious, to be perfectly honest.
Then why are you one?
Well, aside from a distinct lack of ambition, I suppose it's because I wasn't given much of a choice. The crows bought me young. I was a bargain, too, or so I'm led to believe. But don't let my sad story influence you. The crows aren't so bad. They keep one well supplied. Wine, women, men, whatever you happen to fancy. Though the whole severance package is garbage, let me tell you. If you're considering joining, I'd really think twice about it.
Thanks, I'll take that under advisement.
You seem like a bright lad. I'm sure you've other options.
Why are you telling me all this?
Why not? I wasn't paid for silence. Not that I offered it for sale, precisely.
Aren't you at least loyal to your employers?
Loyalty is an interesting concept. If you wish, and you're done interrogating me, we can discuss it further.
I'm listening. Make it quick.
Well, here's the thing. I failed to kill you, so my life is forfeit. That's how it works. If you don't kill me, the crows will. Thing is, I like living. And you obviously are the sort to give the crows pause, so let me serve you instead.
Can I expect the same amount of loyalty from you?
I happen to be a very loyal person. Up until the point where someone expects me to die for failing. That's not a fault, really, is it? I mean, unless you're the sort who would do the same thing, in which case I don't come very well recommended, I suppose.
And what's to stop you from finishing the job later?
To be completely honest, I was never given much of a choice regarding joining the Crows. They bought me on the slave market when I was a child. I think I paid my worth back to them plus tenfold. The only way out, however, is to sign up with someone they can't touch. Even if I did kill you now, they might just kill me on principle for failing the first time. Honestly, I'd rather take my chances with you.
Won't they come after you?
Possibly. I happen to know their wily ways, however. I can protect myself as well as you. Not that you seem to need much help. And if not, well, it's not as if I had many alternatives to start with, is it?
What do you want in return?
Well, let's see. Being allowed to live would be nice, and would make me marginally more useful to you. And somewhere down the line, if you should decide that you no longer have need of me, then I go on my way. Until then, I'm yours. Is that fair?
Very well. I accept your offer.
What? You're taking the assassin with us now? Does that really seem like a good idea?
Don't worry about it. We could use him.
All right. I see your point. Still, if there was a sign we were desperate, I think it just knocked on the door and said hello.
Welcome, Zevran. Having an Antivan crow join us sounds like a fine plan.
Oh, you are another companion to be, then? I wasn't aware such loveliness existed amongst adventurers, surely.
Or maybe not.
I hereby pledge my oath of loyalty to you until such a time as you choose to release me from it. I am your man, without reservation. This I swear.
But you're not coming with me. Friends, Red Jenny. Take what we can. Don't get the hell out of here. See, I mean, it wasn't at all a terrible plan, except for they forgot to look out for the one thing that tends to lead to failure of such a plan. Me. There's no chance of success. Your races, the race that you choose, as well as the class that you choose, is going to have different identifiers that are going to have different effects as far as the